We might have to play through Hogwarts Legacy 4 times to get the Platinum Trophy. Yes, 4 times. With the game releasing in a few weeks, I thought it would be a great time to go through all the trophies and achievements that have been leaked for Hogwarts Legacy. A quick caveat is that the trophy list may contain some small spoilers for the story, but it's nothing major that's going to ruin your playthrough, as about 99% of what's revealed in the trophy list has already been teased or shown to us in one way or another. However, if you want to experience the game completely spoiler free with a clean slate, I completely understand. So there's the first and final spoiler warning. Nevertheless, let's jump right into all of Hogwarts Legacy's trophies and achievements. There is currently 46 trophies, however this can definitely change come the game's release, as these trophies were leaked to us way back in November by Epic Games. So don't be surprised if there is potentially a few new additions or changes to this list come Feb 10th. There is also no difficulty associated trophy, meaning that you won't have to beat the story on the hardest difficulty to 100% the game. So if you really wanted to, you could play through on the easiest setting, being story mode, and get yourself the Platinum Trophy. Starting things off, we have the Sort Who Makes an Entrance. Complete the introduction and finish the sorting ceremony. This will most likely be one of the first trophies we will receive in the main story, shortly after arriving at Hogwarts and being sorted into our house. We have seen footage of this ceremony take place a few times now, in various trailers. The next trophy is First Class Student, where we need to attend our first class. This will also be something we complete early on, as we need to get up to speed with our peers, because if you didn't know, we are coming into Hogwarts as a 5th year student, so we've got a lot of catching up to do. The devs have also teased that classes will be integrated into the main story, as well as available as side missions, so we can assume that this trophy will be available via the main story. Another key feature within the story is Ancient Magic, and in our next trophy called A Keen Sense of Spell, we need to invoke Ancient Magic for the first time. Ancient Magic is the special power our character has within that makes him or her so unique. We have seen in a gameplay reveal that this is the bar used for our Ancient Magic, so perhaps it is when we use that for the first time we will unlock this trophy. We also have the Finishing Touches trophy, where we will need to use Ancient Magic on every enemy in the game. This will be a combat based trophy where we will most likely have to use spells and magic on all enemy types using this Ancient Magic meter here. It has been teased to us that to build this meter, we have to perform various combos to charge up our Ancient Magic, and the next trophy, Raising Expectation, requires us to reach a combo of 100, so we will have to perform 100 spells back to back without being disrupted or hit to reach this target, which could actually prove to be quite difficult. Another combat trophy is the Root of the Problem. To unlock this, we will have to stun 10 different enemies using a Mandrake. We have seen that the Mandrake can be used in combat in this clip here, and is accessible via the tool section of our HUD, so we will most likely have to plant and grow our own batch of mandrakes either in Herbology class or our Room of Requirement, where we have our own mini greenhouse of sorts. This segues perfectly to the Put Down Roots trophy, where we need to grow every type of plant. After learning about different types of plants in Herbology class and collecting the necessary seeds for these plants, we can then take them into our own Room of Requirement and grow them in the potting section seen here. This is where we can plant our seeds and after a certain amount of time eventually harvest our fully grown plants. By obtaining all the spells in the game, we unlock the Spellmaster trophy. I wonder if this could potentially be a missable trophy in the game, as devs said that by taking separate side classes we could learn new spells. Could some of these classes potentially go away if we advance so far in the story? Hopefully not, but it's just something to consider. We also know that certain spells are only obtainable in the post game, such as the Killing Curse of Vada Kedavra. The next trophy is Loom for Improvement. Good use of wordplay here, as to do this we will have to use the loom to upgrade a piece of gear. This loom is also found in our Room of Requirement, and in a recent gameplay showcase we saw that gear has different tiers in terms of upgrades, and can be purchased using materials found from various magical creatures. Doing this once will net us this trophy, but to get the 3rd times a charm trophy you'll need to upgrade a piece of gear 3 times, which will entail us fully maxing out one piece of gear. To get a Forte for achievement you'll have to reach level 40, which appears to be the max level that the game has to offer. Our level is displayed within the field guide here in the middle, and we can increase our level by earning experience via completing missions, quests, and different challenges, which is another trophy here called Challenge Accepted, where we will need to complete all tiers of a challenge. Here we see in the field guide the different challenges available to us, varying from combat to exploration to the collection of field guide pages. When we collect a field guide page, it displays in the top right corner here 1 out of 2. So once we've collected 2, it's likely that we'll move on to the next tier, and so on until we complete all tiers for the challenge. Through leveling up our character, we will get access to talent points, which is essentially our way of upgrading our skill tree within the game. In Hogwarts Legacy, there are 2 trophies associated to this: a talent for spending, where we need to spend 5 talent points, and Savvy Spender, where we need to spend all talent points. Loads of open world games are littered with collectibles these days, and Hogwarts Legacy is no different. As for the collector's edition trophy, you'll need to complete all collections. We also saw a brief glimpse of this in our pause menu. One of the collectibles we have seen so far is of course the field guide pages that are scattered throughout the world, but I'm sure there will be many more to find. Perhaps even our own card collection, which we can obtain by opening a certain chocolate treat, just one to keep an eye out for. The Good Samaritan trophy can be gained by completing all side quests within the game. We have seen a glimpse of some of these, but the number of which is unknown. These will be available throughout the entire open world, from inside the castle to little hamlets scattered around the Scottish Highlands. You can get the Going Through the Potions trophy by brewing every type of potion. We will have to source different ingredients and recipes throughout the world by various methods, such as purchasing recipes from vendors and learning how to make different concoctions in potions class. Traversing this vast open world is made easy thanks to the Flu network. Flu Around the World is a trophy that requires us to unlock all Flu flames, which act as our fast travel points around the map, and are simply acquired by going past or near one of these green flames. Another means of travel is by a broomstick. The Flight the Good Flight trophy requires us to beat Imelda's time in all broom races. Now, we don't know who Imelda is as of yet, but I think it could be our flying professor here. Another trophy associated with open world exploration is Merlin's Beard, where we'll need to complete all of Merlin's trials. The devs have mentioned that Merlin has left behind various puzzles and challenges for us to complete, and hopefully completing these trials will net us some really cool rewards, and maybe even give us a better insight into the mystery of ancient magic. The Intrepid Explorer trophy requires us to discover all Cairn dungeons, which are probably hidden areas filled with enemies and loot that we can find scattered around the map. We will also have to find all Demiguise statues for this trophy here. Demiguises are peaceful magical creatures that can turn invisible and tell the future, making them extremely hard to catch. For coasting along, we will have to visit the Poidsir coast. There isn't much information on this region, but I wonder if this could be the beach-like area that we saw the Graphorn walk along in a clip from the trailer. Speaking of Graphorns, there is a trophy called Grappling with the Graphorn, completed by subduing the Lord of the Shore. This most likely entails us taming the magical creature, and by the description, this very well could take place on the same beach. We know we will be able to tame and look after a handful of magical creatures in our different vivariums within the Room of Requirement, and by breeding every type of beast, we will get the Nature of the Beast trophy. I doubt we will have to breed dragons, but according to this trophy, we will have to save one. We have seen this Hebridean black dragon numerous times so far in all the promotional material and trailers, and it seems like we are the ones who are in need of saving, not the beast itself. That begs the question, what will we need to save this dragon from? Odds are it being poachers, as different parts of dragons have many different uses that are considered to be quite rare. Albus Dumbledore is even credited for discovering the 12 uses of dragon's blood, one being as an oven cleaner. Another creature that is in need of saving is apparently a phoenix. We have seen this magical creature teased here in an image on Hogwarts Legacy's website. The Rising from the Ashes trophy requires us to rescue the phoenix, and many people are wondering, could this be Fawkes? All that is known about his age is that he was born in or prior to 1938, and he served Dumbledore faithfully for 59 years. When phoenixes die, they are reborn from the ashes, so essentially they are immortal creatures. It could just be another phoenix, but nevertheless, we most likely have to protect it from poachers again. It is a valuable creature as its tears have healing powers and it possesses other magical abilities that would fetch a few galleons. Defeating all enemies in all battle arenas gets us the Rise to the Challenger's trophy, We know that in the standard edition of the game there are 2 battle arenas we can use, and a third being accessible if you have the Dark Arts pack, obtained through the deluxe edition or separate purchasable DLC. It would be extremely shitty if they lock this achievement behind a paywall, making us get the Dark Arts pack to get this trophy, but fingers crossed this isn't the case. To get the Ends Petrify the Means trophy, we will need to defeat a total of 50 enemies using Petrificus Totalis. We have seen this spell in action as the character here sneaks behind an enemy and uses the spell to take them out. So if you want to be a stealthy wizard and paralyze opponents using this binding curse, this trophy should be an easy get for you. Another spell related trophy is Spilled Milk, a bit of a joke trophy where we have to use Flipendo 10 times to tip one cow or several. So if you're playing the game and start to feel bored, you can always go out into the countryside and flip a few cows. Moving on, we have got the Followed the Butterflies trophy, where we will need to follow butterflies to a treasure. This most likely will be similar to Ghost of Tsushima, where we have to follow the foxes to a shrine. Room with a View is a trophy requiring us to reach the highest point in the castle, being the headmaster's upper study. I wonder if we will need to find out a password to sneak in here, or perhaps we get summoned by the headmaster himself. An object that could potentially be in the headmaster's study is the Pensieve that we saw in the films. The One Who Mastered Memories trophy requires us to view all Pensieve memories. The Pensieve is described to be enchanted to recreate memories so that they become relivable. We see what looks to be a Pensieve here in this clip. A feature that would be really cool is if we have to go out into the world and collect certain memories and bring them back here to slowly solve a mystery piece by piece. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. Something we don't need to wish for though is the Deathly Hallows. Yes, you heard that right. Wielding a Deathly Hallow earns us the Hallowed Hero trophy, confirming to us that at least one, maybe even all 3 are available in the game. It would be slightly overpowered if we were able to obtain all 3 Hallows, as the person who possessed all 3 was deemed as the Master of Death. I can see that the Deathly Hallows might be incorporated into the main story somehow, or at least not accessible until late game. Now we have a series of trophies that involve our different companions at the school. The Avenging Gazelle requires us to complete Natsai Onai's relationship line. Natsai is our Gryffindor companion, who is also new to the school and the daughter of the divination professor. A Sallow Grave is achieved by completing Sebastian Sallow's relationship line, most likely helping him in one way or another in his attempt to use dark magic to save his sister from a curse. The third relationship trophy is Beast Friends by completing Poppy Sweeting's relationship line. This one will most likely entail us saving different magical creatures, and her questlines could be linked to some of the other trophies we mentioned earlier. So that's 3 different trophies for our Gryffindor, Slytherin, and Hufflepuff companions. What about our Ravenclaw companion? Well, this next trophy might just reveal who that is. That's a Keeper is unlocked by meeting Charles Rookwood in the map chamber. Now I bet you're saying, wait a minute, that's just the Dark Wizard who we've seen in all the trailers, isn't it? Well no, that's Victor Rookwood, and here it clearly says Charles. Could this potentially be his son or sibling, and maybe even our Ravenclaw companion? We will have to wait and see, as all that is just speculation, but those 2 characters have to be connected one way or another. Like the previous trophy, the following requires us to find the map chamber, but this time as one of each of the 4 houses. This is why we potentially need to replay the game 4 different times to get these 4 trophies. Now there are 2 possibilities that can make this easier, one being the use of the Polyjuice potion, where we can transform into a character from each of these houses and enter the room to get the trophy, or 2 being that this area is found very early on in the game. If neither of these are the case, then we might actually have to play through the entire game 4 separate times to 100% it. And with people speculating that the story itself takes roughly 35 hours to complete, we could be in for a long ride. I've searched for what the map chamber could possibly be and found nothing, so we're just gonna have to wait and see for that one. Now the final 3 trophies are story related, being a Troll with the Punches, where we have to survive the troll attack on Hogsmeade. We have seen footage of this in one of the trailers. The Hero of Hogwarts trophy requires us to defeat Ranrock, who is the goblin mounting a rebellion that we will have to take on. This is probably the most spoilery trophy, but being the main antagonist, it was inevitable that this was going to be one. And finally is the Seeker of Knowledge, where we have to win the House Cup. The devs said that we won't be able to actively contribute towards this by say getting 50 points for our house when we complete a side quest, but they said it will be integrated into the narrative, and with it typically trophy being handed out at the end of the school year, this is most likely the final trophy we will receive in the main storyline. If you manage to acquire all of these trophies on the PlayStation, you will receive a nice shiny platinum trophy, which I will 100% be getting. And if you want to learn all about classes and professors in Hogwarts Legacy, then click this video here.